Hello, my little sugar plums. I just came in from feeding our reindeer their favorite treat. They just love apples. But it's time for our story tonight. Let's see what we have tonight. Oh, this is a good one. The Littlest Christmas Elf by Nancy Buss and illustrated by Terry Super. I think I'll show you the pictures in this book tonight too. They're pretty cute. Alistair the elf was excited. Today he was leaving for the North Pole. The whole village of Elfin Corners had come to say goodbye. Even the mayor was there. This year, Santa has sent for our merriest elf to join his workshop, the mayor said. We will miss Alistair's songs and stories, yet Santa needs the best, and our Alistair is a very special elf. And here's all the people of the elf village getting ready to say goodbye to Alistair. But when Alistair arrived at the North Pole, he didn't feel special at all. He was the littlest elf there. He was so tiny that the head elf, McGafferty, couldn't find him a job. McGafferty gave Alistair a wagon to build, but Alistair was too small to hammer. He gave him a dollhouse to paint, but Alistair couldn't reach the roof. He gave him some bears to stuff, but that didn't work either. He's buried beneath them, said the elf in charge of the bears. Oh my goodness. Look at that big hammer's too big. He can't reach the dollhouse. He's underneath all of the stuffing. Poor Alistair. McGafferty shook his head. Just 2 weeks until Christmas, and we still have so much work to do. We have to find you a job. Perhaps you can sweep. But even the broom was too big for Alistair, and the other elves began to laugh. Why, he's just a runt, said one elf, and he poked a friend and giggled. He's smaller than I am, said another. And absolutely useless, said a third. Santa should send him away. Well, now that wasn't very nice of that elf, was it? Alistair blinked his eyes quickly so he wouldn't cry. I don't belong here, he thought. I'm so little, even Santa won't like me. Then he pushed through the crowd and ran from the room. But Santa won't send me away, said Alistair, because he will never even see me. Alistair kept running until he found a perfect place to hide, down behind the woodpile, in the back of the reindeer pen. It was there that Alistair found a friend. Hello, my name is Nicholas, said an old elf, peering over the woodpile. What's yours? Alistair answered in a whisper. Nicholas shook his hand. I'm glad to know you, he said. Would you like to help me with the reindeer? There he is running away, and there is Nicholas. And he asking to help with the reindeer. When Alistair nodded, Nicholas lifted him up to his shoulders, and the two of them chatted and sang while they fed and watered the reindeer. Alistair was so happy to find a friend that he returned to the reindeer pen the next day and the next. Nicholas never minded if Alistair asked questions, and he never told Alistair he was too small to help. While Nicholas cleaned out the stalls, Alistair fed the reindeer apples. I I told you they loved apples. While Nicholas brushed a reindeer's coat, Alistair polished harness bells. And all the while he told Nicholas stories, and together they sang to the reindeer. Isn't that nice? I bet the reindeer love Alistair. But one morning, Nicholas was gone. Someone else was hauling the water. Someone else was cleaning the pen. "Where is Nicholas?" Alistair asked. "Oh, Nicholas indeed," said a grumpy elf who was busy swinging a pitchfork. "He's up at the big house. Now go away, I have work to do." "The big house," thought Alistair. "But that's where Santa lives. Nicholas must be sick. He must be very sick if he's staying with Santa." And the thought of his friend in that big, scary house sent Alistair scurrying home to the safety of his bed. But he didn't sleep. He was worried about Nicholas, and he missed him so much. He knew he had to see him. There's that old grumpy elf, and there he is, worried. He's looking out the window. So the next morning, Alistair packed a basket of fruit and started out for a visit. But the nearer he got to Santa's house, the slower his steps became. Finally, he stopped completely. Behind a Christmas tree in Santa's front yard, his heart was beating loudly. Suddenly, the door opened, and Alistair, more frightened than ever, dived beneath the pine tree. He heard footsteps, and he buried his head under his arms. The footsteps came closer. Alistair was afraid to breathe. He closed his eyes tightly and prayed that no one would see him. But someone jiggled his foot. "Hey there," he said. "You're not hurt, are you?" There he is, looking at the big house, and he's hiding under the pine tree. Whose feet do you think they are? I wonder. Alistair let out a long, slow breath. He peeked out from under his arms. It was Nicholas! Alistair scurried from under the tree and gave his friend a hug. "Well, it's Alistair. I've missed you. And how are my reindeer? The week before Christmas is so busy, I don't have time to take care of them. Come inside and talk to me." And before Alistair could say a word, his friend had hoisted him to his shoulders and begun walking toward the house. "No, no," Alistair cried. "I can't go in there. Put me down." And he wiggled and squirmed so much that the old elf did. Oh, there he is, up on Nicholas's shoulders. I wonder why he doesn't want to go into the house. "Can't go in there?" "Can't go in where?" Nicholas asked. Alistair pointed toward the house. "And why not, may I ask?" "Because Santa won't like me. He'll send me home." "Well, why would he do that?" asked Nicholas. "Because I'm little and I can't do anything right. And," the old elf interrupted. "Why, that's nonsense," he said. "You're a big help to me. In fact, I have a special job just for you." There he is, Nicholas and Alistair. Let's see. "A special job?" asked Alistair. "For me? Oh, I wonder what the special job is." "Exactly right," said Nicholas. "You're coming with me this year when I make my deliveries." "Deliveries?" said Alistair. The toys to the children on Christmas Eve," said Nicholas. "You see, it's a long trip, and I get lonely, but you could come with me, Alistair. You're so small you'll fit in the sleigh, and you could tell me stories, and we could sing songs just like we do in the reindeer pen. Oh my goodness, look at all of the toys he's getting ready. That's a lot of toys. A bear and dolls and trains and animals. Alistair's mouth dropped open. His eyes got big and round. Then you're Santa Claus. His friend bowed, also known as Saint Nicholas. Alistair began to back away. Then he stopped and grinned. But I'm not afraid of you. I'm glad, said the old elf. Will you come with me on Christmas Eve? Oh, yes, said Alistair. He's so surprised. That's exactly what he did, and it was the best Christmas Eve Alistair, or Santa, ever had. The end. Now go cuddle up nice and cozy and dream about Christmas Eve and Santa and his reindeer. We'll have another story tomorrow night. I can't wait to read to you then. Good night.